Kind of had the hoping for the surprise element to win the mech game, or do you think he's comfortable enough with mech to try it again?
I think the push was the surprise element that won. So I think no, he's not gonna try it again.
Well, I'd be super stoked if he did, because we don't see enough of it, right? But this is the best of 3 semifinals match here in the losers bracket, guys. The winner of this goes on to fight against QXC for that last slot. So either TVT or TVP finals. Should be interesting either way. Tied up now 1-1, though. This game matters a lot because there is no more losers bracket to the losers bracket. This is it. Spawning in the top right corner of the map, playing for Root Gaming. Root for Root! Give it up, guys! Possibly the last time today, Illusion.
And in the upper left, as the orange Protoss, it is Evil Genius's Huck.
Again, possibly for the last time today. It's such a shame, too, because these are such good players. You can't help but be a fanboy for both of them. Illusion and Huck, we kind of talked about, too, are the two players who were like at their greatest peak of glory a long time ago, and have only sort of recently re-ascertained that power. So for both of them to be here like this, it's the most evenly matched as far as dynamic goes matchup we could probably have here in the semifinals.
It is pretty well, I don't want to say well fated, but it's pretty awesome. Huck Suppy was also a really good map. Or a good match. They always seem to pair up with each other. Team kills.
Yeah, actually, just think about it, you got Home Story Cup. I'm sure they fought at multiple DreamHacks that I didn't cast in the past or something. I mean, like, other various events. Of course, we didn't get to cast IEMs till most recently, so I wouldn't be surprised, as that tends to be the way luck carries them. But yeah, let's talk about that real quick while we wait for this game to pick up. A little bit of nod to Huck's run through today. He started today off against Zerg Zing Zing with a quick victory, then lost to QXE, sending him down to the losers bracket to go on and win against players like Shu and State, and as Zombie Grub just mentioned, Suppy, to bring him here to the losers semifinals. Illusion, he's had a pretty tough run too. He didn't exactly have an easy way through the tournament, and he won his first round versus Hello Kitty, but that was a bye. Hello Kitty unfortunately had to forfeit due to sickness or something like that. So Pulse knocked him out to the losers bracket right away. But he's clawed tooth and nail back up, fighting off Zerg Zing Zing, taking down Violet, beating Patreus, and finding himself here against Huck. And again, this is the last time these two will fight each other, at least in this tournament. This is the best of 3. It's the last game to be played. And what's kind of refreshing, I guess, is this is, we talk a lot about Blink maps and doing this and that, but this is the one map where Blink is probably not going to be the prevalent go-to build.
No, it's actually terrible. Like, it's terrible for Reaper and it's terrible for Blink. There's not any place... Well, actually, I said that before, didn't I? You can actually... We don't know if you can Blink from the third to the main.
You've got to be able to. That distance has got to be close enough.
That's going to seem like if it was the case, why don't people do it?
Well, it's still a fresh map. We talked about that before too, right? Like, not everything's being explored, not everything's been tried. Hell, half the time pros, I asked people like Select about this because we were talking about before. They didn't know that these were destructible rocks over here in the bandana hallways. They look like part of the map. So, there's a good chance people may not just realize every, nook and cranny of the map or figured it out yet, right?
Oh, there's a bunker for Illusion this time. Woo!
Well, it's only one Marine in though, so...
Oh, he's gonna run past it.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Whoa, actually gonna run away from it afterwards. So that sarcastic woo becomes a genuine woo.
He saw the amount of Marines with his mothership course, so he was like, that won't get up the other ramp. Let's give that one up. So already kind of better for Illusion. Like both games, the first 5 minutes seemed to go his way, but now he's got that natural, nice and set up early. Huck going for standard stuff. He did get a second Stalker. No, he did not get a second Stalker. Okay, so didn't invest in that poke at all. Just normal pretty much. Maybe getting the Zealots a little more, but even that's pretty normal. Oh, Twilight Council rather than a Robo going down with this Forge though. That's not.
This will probably be, I would imagine, more standard play. I would hope to see. I really enjoy Storms, so that's all I can say. Like, my favorite thing about TVP. Watching Storms. Either they get dodged and it's fantastic for a Terran player, or they do so much damage, and even as a Terran player, I can't help but respect how good that Storm was.
It's not totally uncommon, but yeah, it has been, he's been favoring the Robo and Forge the last few games. See what he does with that.
Oh.
Does get the +1 nice and early, and Illusion is how this is the first time Illusion's been doing like a normal build that he's allowed to do. He's getting bio, and he's going to be able to push out the regular time medevac timing.
Yeah, I'm getting all nerdy and happy about possibly Storms and Zealots and Charge, but that doesn't look to be the case. Going +1 weapons, typically you don't pair it up with that combination, so... Well, Huck hasn't revealed that he wants to go Blink necessarily. It may, again, just be Blink for a mid-game sort of dance. Although how sick would this be to be like, psych, Dirk Templar out of nowhere.
Okay, I was wondering, like, he canceled it, never mind. Well, what are you doing, Huck?
He canceled and start making an Immortal instead, a bit of a curious choice. I wonder if he'll pair this with a Warp Prism. The amount of annoyance it is to catch a Warp Prism is already pretty high for a Terran player, but none of that's going to matter for a moment, as this push coming across the middle of the map is going to at least force an overcharge. We'll see how much he dedicates to this. With this ramp being a little further back, though, this does afford Huck the opportunity to lock this army in with some force fields and force them to eat that overcharge.
Oh, he misses. He can actually push the Marauder past. He could focus down the sentries, and in fact, he is gonna actually.
How can the Marauder go in but not out? How does that work?
Because the Marines are actually pushing it forward. Like that's there's not many glitches in StarCraft, but apparently there's one here, and that went terribly for Lucian actually. Like that's Habitation Station is one of the only maps that has like a decently choke ramp at your natural. A lot of the other maps, like I think most of the maps, don't have a ramp at all at their natural, so it is dangerous to go up there like that for Illusion. The Immortal popping out at just the right time was also pretty helpful, as if the Marauders had actually popped in there, they could have targeted down those sentries otherwise. He did in fact go Blink, by the way, just a little delayed. I think he saw the push coming and got the Immortal. That's why he delayed the Blink, but now he's also going to be able to get +2 very, very fast.
Well, Marines, veterans of the First War, however you want to phrase these, do come back home. Illusion has been an expert at sniping observers in every series up to this one. Has managed to miss the one observer that Huck has kind of had floating around his base for quite some time. So someone in the middle of the map, worth noting.
Yeah, we got 5 gateways coming down from Huck.
Okay, so this is when you start turning on the gas, so to speak, and moving across the map if you're going to go for a push. The Immortals combined with Blink are going to take down the bunker like it's nobody's business, but the problem is there's no Colossus after this, right? Like, this push is going to get some good damage done. There we go. Does snipe off that observer. Just kind of waiting for that magic to happen. But at any rate, low amounts of Immortals are not going to be too scary for the bio to deal with. But these sentries are going to be a bit odd, because Illusion doesn't have a lot of medevacs. In fact, he doesn't have any medevacs. So picking up, getting away from those force fields, not really going to be an option. Not really going to be an opportunity.
Well, he's going to expand behind it. Just send a probe down there. Isn't an all-in or anything. Illusion, he's going to have a lot of warp-ins, though, but that's good because he's planning on using a lot of warp gateway units rather than just going straight up to Storm or straight up to Colossus. He's actually been relying a lot on Tier 1, Tier 2. Illusion has to be careful. The force field is just scary. And where are those medevacs?
Those force fields, like I said earlier, are a little too good without the medevacs. They do get the Immortals right away, though. I'm not sure if that's necessarily worth losing so much bio for, though, because, of course, this push still coming. It's Blink Stalkers. Now, of course, Stalkers never really want to engage into a Marauder count, but there's only 2 Marauders here. Sorry, third one coming in from behind, pulling up the rear. Stimpak's going to allow him to fight this a little more effectively. The sentries do go down, but Huck, with some pretty good Blink micro, does manage to take out the Marauders. These medevacs need to be so careful. Does Huck know about that third base? Okay, he does. He's seen it.
Okay, but Huck didn't get a third base. Well, at least not yet. He still has enough money to, but he's choosing to warp in a bunch more Stalkers instead. It's a little, deciding what can I do with what I have. Should I get a third and just defend it, or should I actually try and, do some really big damage to Illusion? But Illusion still has a very nice SE, or I see the SCVs going past. Still has a nice army. He's going to have a really nice economy on this gold. The Blink up could take out a lot of SCVs, and he does choose to go for it. And that was a few Stalkers because he can't blink back immediately.
Well, a bit of an awkward fight here for Huck, but he does get chased out of the base. It's really unfortunate for Illusion, too, because as we look at the Watchtower, it gives Huck the vision he needs to really jump up there if he wants to.
Huck has stopped probing. He's not getting that third. This is actually going to be an all-in. And
nice
he blinks on top of the Marauders.
Yeah, very nice. This ramp is definitely not going to pay into his flavor, but of course, medevacs can't do too much. He tries to pick them up, but the Stalkers... Oh, Huck, do it. Blink to the main. Show us if this works or not. Oh, he's got no vision.
Oh,
He takes out the
darn.
orbital command center, though. Now Control his third base. Takes out the refinery, too. Control is definitely something Hawk has going for him. Illusion not looking too great right now. He's got a lot of medevacs, but not a lot of Marauders to heal, sadly. He's got a good chunk underneath this, so Hawk can't push into the main and end the game anytime soon. But, ooh, we got a Dark Shrine coming up, Zombie Grub.
So immediately after realizing that attack was going to do good damage, he put down the Nexus. So I really like that he's kind of like, should I engage? What should I do? And getting that third was definitely well worth it. Really well worth it. We got a tank out from Illusion, oddly enough. I guess Panic Tank because he saw Blink, but it's not actually going to be an all-in anymore. He's getting those probes. He's getting additional tech. He's actually getting, like you said, that Dark Shrine. Illusion, though, he can push. He can actually do some return damage, and he needs to, honestly. Losing that third is a big deal. In fact, yeah, he's going to pull his SCVs, at least his natural SCVs.
Oh, you know what? This will actually work not too badly, though. Again, guys, keep in mind, there's no actual area of effect available. Blink Stalkers, they got a lot of damage, they got a lot of maneuverability, and the SCVs aren't going to surround them like Zerglings by any means, but they'll soak the hits for the bio. That's the intention here. There's even a tank in this army, which is a weird thing to see, but he's going to try and make it work. Pushing on forward here is Illusion, and this is pretty much all or nothing for him. He's got to get some good damage done. Stuck on 2 bases, SCVs on the front lines. Blink Stalkers do focus down on a lot of the medevacs initially, but the Marauders are shredding them to bits. But with the Immortals on the high ground, can he hold this? Where's the overcharge? Where's the Mothership Core?
He doesn't have one.
Oh,
he just doesn't have one. He
no.
doesn't have anything.
The natural base is going to
Illusion's
fall.
win.
Dark Templar! Hang on, Dark Templar just warped in, but the scan goes down, so he actually takes them out. Illusion! Is he really going to bring this back? He did! Good game is called! Hawk will unfortunately be eliminated. But that puts Illusion in another TBT finals.